Hey everyone, Bruce Morris from the Tab Group here. Welcome to Market Structure Wave at the STA's 92nd Market Structure Annual Conference here in Washington, D.C. It is our privilege to be sitting here with Alison Singer, founder and CEO of the Autism Science Foundation. Hey Alison, welcome to TabbForum.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, our pleasure. So Alison, why don't we start the conversation? If you could share with our viewers, tell us about the Autism Science Foundation and what's your mission?
So the Autism Science Foundation was founded by parents and scientists working together specifically to invest in research to find the causes of autism and then to develop interventions that are based on that underlying biology. For too long, the interventions that we had for autism had nothing to do with autism's causes. They were just things that doctors thought might make the kids feel better. But we owe our children better than that. And so our goal is to really understand the underlying mechanisms that are causing autism and then to develop medications and interventions that treat that underlying biology.
Great. And Alison, what are some of the early warning signs of autism?
So it's so important for people to know the early warning signs of autism. I think everyone knows the physical milestones that babies should reach. We know when a baby should crawl. We know that a baby should walk around its first birthday. But it's just as important to know the developmental milestones. It's important to know when a baby should babble, when a baby should respond to his or her name when you call, when babies should point to a plane in the sky or a dog that they see on the street in an effort to share their enjoyment with a caregiver. We refer to that as joint attention, and that's really a critical milestone. We also like to see babies and toddlers showing interest in other children their same age, and also playing with toys in the way that manufacturers intended. So often children who go on to be diagnosed with autism play with toys in unusual ways. They will line them up by size or they will sort them by color. But really, we like to see children playing with toys the way the toy is intended to be played with.
So I understand there's been some pretty amazing developments in the whole science of, I don't know if the word would be curing, but to try to fight against these this autistic developments within these children. Can you talk about that?
We've learned a lot in the last 10 years about the causes of autism. We know that autism is very complicated and that it's a complex mix of genetics and environmental exposures that increase risk for autism. So we know, for example, that autism is the most heritable of the neurodevelopmental disorders, and that in a family where there's one child with autism, there's a 15 times greater likelihood than in the general population of having another child with autism. We know that we can find the genes that cause autism in between 20 and 25% of children with autism. And we also have learned a lot about environmental exposures that increase risk for autism. So for example, fever during pregnancy, or some medications that might be taken during pregnancy, or illness during pregnancy can increase risk for autism. And we also know that older parents delaying having children, either advanced age of the father or of the mother, that also increases risk for autism. And so that's one of the major drivers of the increase in autism prevalence, is that people are waiting longer to have babies.
Wow. So I've been affiliated with TAB for 8 years, and ever since I started, I've heard all about Wall Street Rides Far. Could you share with our viewers, how that event developed, and I understand it rides a little farther than just Wall Street.
Yeah, maybe we should call it Rides Farther. We started 11 years ago with Wall Street Rides Far. It was really the brainchild of Brian Harkins, who is the president of IEX Group, and his wife, Melissa Moo Harkins, who's the director of digital assets for StoneX. They wanted to have a fundraiser to support their nephew, who was diagnosed with autism. And Brian was really able to rally the financial community and to create Wall Street Rides Far. And that has now expanded, as you said, to include Bay Street Rides Far in Toronto, Miami Rides Far, Chicago Rides Far, Princeton Rides Far, and just this year, London Rides Far. And together this year, those rides raised over $1 million to support autism research. And we are incredibly grateful to the financial community. The community has really rallied to support autism research. And, it's so interesting to me that you are all such fierce competitors during the work week, but somehow on Rides Far Day, everyone comes together to jointly support the needs of families who are raising children with autism.
Yeah, well, this is such a wonderful cause, so that's no doubt. Can you share with our audience, if they want to help the foundation, how they can get in touch with you?
They can reach us through our website, autismsciencefoundation.org, also through our LinkedIn, our Instagram, our Facebook, or they can email me directly at asinger@autismsciencefoundation.org.
Great. Hey, well, thanks again for spending time with us.
Thank you for having me.